So welcome back to the demo part 2. Last time we gave a description how the game file works, and now we will try to make a demo for the rest of the program. So this program originally was supposed to make maps only, but now it cannot make map without loading the file. So let's load the file first. And now we should be capable of loading and making maps. So let's make a new map, and here we need the map name, and we need the size. This might slow down the whole process because 100,000 multiplied by 100,000 loaded totally in the memory might slow down the map thing. This is the old background image setting. I didn't want to delete it, but I should delete it and add other infos in here instead. Maybe the maximum. Yeah, I should add the maximum zoom out, zoom in, and the map exits or something. I don't know. So the game is not designed to make open world or procedural the maps. A lot of games now have procedural map generator. If I'm going to do that, if I'm going to need to do that, either I need to load the map chunk by chunk instead of loading the whole thing, or make a new instance of map that support generating part of the map every time you walk on the corners. And crash. Oh, that's the first time I see out of memory. Is it because I'm having tons of programs on the background? I don't know. Or maybe because I didn't close this program since yesterday? I don't know. But I made before maps 100 by 100,000. So let's go a little bit. This number is ugly. And this one's even uglier. So we made a map, but let's load the game. And there you go, I guess. So we can, here you can see the brushes of the tills. And in my system, you can have up to 15 images like these only. Only 15. You cannot get more than 15. And actually, I need to load to the memory 15 exactly. The program might crash if I don't load 15 because the data of the block itself represent which image we are going to load. So in here, we can put the walls like this. And you can select anything you want. This one has been made by my youngest brother, and he screwed up with one pixel, and he screwed up several rows. So the first few were fine, but then the images get screwed up by one pixel, every one by them, and it was screwed up. And this one too, he was trying to make some silly maps. And I'm glad that he did something because it encouraged me to work on it. Long time ago, the image he made it for Map Simulator version -1. It was for an RPG game, not for the engine. We can zoom in and zoom out. The zooming still have problems when we zoom in all of a sudden. We can add objects, but unfortunately we cannot add the script like Map Simulator 1 manually. We can add items, which they are loaded with the same images of the objects, but they're saved in the map as items. And we can add creatures. We can select Walker, give him as a soldier, select the prototype, give him a name, and select the side and put it down. What else? The blocks, the tiles themselves, can all of these the players will cross them and consider them as part of the background or something. They are not solid. So I have two different systems for the solidity, and we can actually load more than one map too. Let's load another map. I should finish what I was talking about. Did I forget to put a name for this map? Dang it. It's a nameless map. So I should actually prevent that from happening. You don't want a nameless map. That might cause troubles. So you can make the blocks solid so the players cannot cross them, but the fire will still cross them. You can make them fire solid, which will make the fire not to cross them, but the player can cross them. Or you can make them both solid. And we can view the attributes in here. So the one without a line means it's not solid by both of them. The one with the red line is player solid. The one with the blue line is fire solid, and the purple is both. So if I make it only solid, it become red. Only fire solid, it will become blue. And we can see the effect from the old engine, which I kept running since yesterday. This one is both solid, so the player cannot cross them. But when he fire, it cannot cross them too. This one is player solid, but not fire solid. Oh, sorry, I fired with the camera. But I add a hitting wall here that's neither solid, neither fire solid, which is the second block in here. So you can pass it. Unfortunately, this is a very old map for the Game Engine 1, Game Lover 1, and it won't work with the new simulator. I can run it on Map Simulator 1, but it doesn't have the feature to show the lines. Actually, before, to check the attributes, you need to figure out how the numbers works. Because if you select the normal block here, and you remove the solidity, it have different values. Depends on the bitwise. And that's why Microsoft gave us this calculator. Here. So, for example, this is the first block. In the first image, it should be this one. No, this one. But the second image in here, if I select 2, it should be number 2 in binary, which is this one. So fire solid is one of the bits in here, and the solid is one of the bits in here. If I'm not mistaken, is this one and this one. So if you select this one and select the fire one, the first block, and pick the two of them, it should be the same number, because one of them is solid, if I'm not mistaken, is this one, and the other one is the fire solid. So if you reverse them, so the only way to figure out which one is solid and fire solid and all of the crap, you need to learn how the system of the data is saved in the blocks, and each block saves 16-bit, and that wasn't a very good choice. So I add this line thing, and it took me some time actually. The second feature we have is the mini map, but because we have a very huge map, we crashed the program. I shouldn't open the mini map. I apologize for that. I forgot that the mini map is, I didn't make it to have a fixed size. My mistake. and have scroll bars. I need to add scroll bars. So this map, let's test the mini map for this map, so you can see it here. And the purple is the same thing, that's mean both solid. So why the mini map is on the top? So if I add a block with only solid on the top, it should show you there's a red dots in there. And the same thing, if you zoom out, you will see the line that's coming like this and going outside of the map in here. The next thing that my system have, let's make a new map, call it demo map of a size 25 by 25. Look at that, very small, very cute. But I cannot drag it because it's so cute. So let's add solid blocks in here. The other thing we can have is a grid, whoever cares about a grid, and backgrounds. We can add backgrounds. Oh crap, I forgot the backgrounds have a lot of details. So let's put it to the size of 1 by 1. Unfortunately, depends on the block area, but I'm going to add a trick to make a shift to the image. Like it's begin at 1 at 1, for example, but it's shifted by 50 pixel down. I need to add 2 values for that. And how far does it move with the camera? So if we make a background that's move the camera in a different speed, so let's add 0.5, maybe negative 0.5. And timer speed, that's moved by time, and time interval, and does it loop with the camera, and how transparent is it, and do you want it in the front or in the back? So let's add one to the front, a little bit transparent, no, in the back, sorry. And let's make on the back, let's make it this one. And let's add another one which is in the front, and let's make it at the block 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one doesn't move, and we want it in the front, and we want it two step on X, and we want it non-transparent. And that's it. And let's select this one. Okay, so you see here in the background, but you don't see the boss ground. To show the boss ground, you need to put this. So this one, let me remove the grid. This one will be on the front of the character, but the blocks will matter. So what I'm trying to say, we can make invisible blocks of these guys, and we just make the road for the player to walk in, but the ground, well, we can use a background, a front ground like this, front ground, both ground, I call it, a background, and well, an image that cover them. So we don't need to build the whole road as blocks. We can build it as images. And this is on the back. So if we go back to the new game engine, and we can check the backgrounds. This one is transparent, this one in the front, and this one in the back. And when you can walk, you see the character hide behind the ground, the boss ground. And I made it to move a little bit slower than the camera, so you can feel that there's if you make more than one background and you make some of them transparent, you make the one further back move slower, it will give an impression of 3D. You know, there's some stuff behind the scene. Same with the boss ground, the clouds. I made it transparent and I made it to loop. So when it moves a little bit, it loops and it will never end. It will keep going to the left, and every time it hit the hit the end of the screen or something. No, it hit, yeah, it hit the screen from the other side. It start looping, so it doesn't disappear completely on the left. So this is how the backgrounds works. What else? The block animation, I programmed them, but I didn't program how to sprint it. To make a block to become an animation, I add a system for that. You need to go to here, and you need to pick a block by its number. For example, this one, the first one. And actually we can use the calculator to find them, or we can just pick them up by the pin, and it will give you immediately the number that you need. Then you need to pick another one from the animated blocks, and you can use the number again, or you can just pick it manually and say how many frames does it have, and you just can add it. And actually we already add one as water in this game file. So this block number 81 should become animated as water. We already add an example in here. I could add that one, but now I lost it because I click on this one, silly me. And the same thing, we can add tags to the blocks. So we can give these blocks like 81 a tag, and we call it water. And we can add other to we can add other blocks as water. For example, if I consider this one water, I just say water and I add a tag. Now the system understands that this tag has already been used, and so it add another number to represent the water. I should add another image in here to show the tag, which one did you pick, because now you need to guess what is this number. So I will add another image in here to represent this one. And this tag alone doesn't do anything, but the game itself can say all the blocks that considered water and have the tag say water, we treat it as water. So I program how the physical forms add to the creature. And actually the interesting part is what I will do. I will say if the creature is standing on water, I will add an action called water. If not, then remove the water action. And the action condition will take care of the whole thing if I program it in the right way. So it will turn the character into swimming, and it will make the swimming image, or shocking, or whatever. So very beautiful system, if you ask me. It'll be a very beautiful system. And with that, we can make the blocks have meaning in the game. It doesn't have to be walls anymore. We can even say this block is breakable, and then number 1, and we give it attributes in the game. The game here, the code or the system is partially data driven. That's mean, or hybrid. That's mean half of it is designed by this program, and the other half is a hard code, like this. And this is how most of my game engine works. Actually not most, some parts. The blocks part now, and the control, and the character customization. These 3 are hybrid. The rest are data driven. And I can add new systems by hard code, but it's easier to modify, and I'm taking too long on this, aren't I? It's easier to modify by using a program like this, and even for testing purposes. As you can see, I said cancel and it didn't save them. It should not save them. Imagine if it saved them. So see, the water didn't save the data in here, and it didn't save the new water. What else? The only thing left is actually this one I'm going to delete. I made it to work on game engine. You can immediately test the game or the map on the game lover 2. Unfortunately, game lover doesn't work anymore, so you need to set the bath and you put the test. It is still, the code is not removed, but it will screw it up heavily because the old engine doesn't use game file at all. It's totally different. And I can tweak it, but the way how I was treating the maps and the game engine is totally different. So this page is not good. The help page is from Map Simulator 2 version 1. It gives you the help and the features. It took me a while actually to build this, but still they are old. It needs some kind of modification, but I don't care about the help anymore. Maybe later on, because it took me too much time and nobody used it. It was wasted effort. The last page is the script builder, which I didn't finish yet, not even 10%. And here you can add regions to the map, and later on give a script to this region. So if the creature or the fire or the object enter the region, depends on the script, depends on the trigger, it might fire and do stuff like a region that will trigger an event, exit the map, cave in, whatever, damage. You can do a lot of things, but with the blocks info, we can make the blocks damage you when you touch them instead. But you can do this too and add regions to that. And I add a flag to show the regions, but all of this is not working because I didn't complete that, and it need to finish this page first to add region scripts to you know. And this is the old manual script. The script system is not done, and I'm thinking even to make a way to add basils and make templates in here, but all of this is just, yeah, it needs some work, a lot of work. The dialogue is done. We can add dialogues, and this one can be used for anything, for creature description, for the dialogue, the talk between characters, to the main menu, to the buttons. It can be used for anything. So you can add, like, for example, button okay, and you can add the English version, and then we add the Arabic one, and we can check what's the English equivalent for it. And then we can add the Russian one, which I have no clue. So this is how Russian look like. Interesting. So now we have our first button OK dialogue. So whenever I add a button that says use the OK dialogue, depends on the game language that time, it will show the corresponding dialogue in here. And we have encryption because Arabic is a pain in the butt. I cannot, the letters are connected, and XNA and monogame doesn't print connected letters. It will print them separately and inverted left to right. So I made it actually already on the old engine. If you go to the sign and press P to use it, you'll see the Arabic language in here. I already made the system, but this is not the menu system I have. I have a new menu system. This one is fixed, and but the new menu system doesn't support Arabic yet. So what I did is I changed the letters, depends on the shape and position, into numbers. And these numbers point to, it's a long story, and I said it many times and I want to say it again, because the same letter in Arabic can have 4 shapes. And what's the last one? So it depends on the position of the word. The same letter can have 4 different shapes, and each shape needs a different image, as you can see. So I made an image to represent the Arabic letters, and I can use these numbers to represent them. So actually the data in the stupid dialogue is saved for Arabic as numbers. It's not saved as um, letters. But the engine will understand them and print this silly word by using 5 different numbers. So there you go. This is almost all my work, hopefully. I don't remember any more features that I can show. In the map designer, the game engine is totally different. This is the old one, and the oldest one actually, and this is the newest one, and I need to save the control and the fire and start working on the fire to attack. But other than that, this one works with joysticks and different joysticks. I don't know. It's understand there's a character. It's understand there's different animations, and I'm quite happy with that. Understand there's gravity. It understand this is a customable character. It's not just a fixed code like the old one. The old one is a fixed code. When I press left, it just use the animation that I gave it. I fed it. But this one, the new one, it understand that this animation is customable, and I gave it every the information, all the information needed in the file, so I can edit them and adjust them and maintain them easily. Unlike this one, the old one, if I want to maintain this one, I need to deal with this code to maintain the stuff. So yeah, this is actually the new code, so don't look at it. Oh, this goes, yeah. Anyway, so this is the end of demo 2. Thank you for watching, and see you later.